Okay, hello everyone. We are here on another episode of Time to Loud and Talk. And I have a very special guest today. And the best way to describe her is a lady with beauty and brain. And as you can see, she's already looking so pretty today. So, by the way, I need to comment. You're looking so beautiful. I don't know if it's your camera or whatever. You just like something. Something is just like I don't know how to describe it, but you just look so beautiful today. Really, you look
Thank you. So
yeah.
do you.
Thank you. Yeah, and you know what? I think I know where you got your beauty from. You want to
My
you got it from your
mom.
mom, yeah.
Yeah.
Because anytime I see your mom, it's like I remember when I was really young, when I was younger, I was like this and that. I was like, yeah, you are still beautiful. So she's such a very beautiful lady. So
She is
I want
indeed.
to yeah, I want to welcome you to today's show. And before we delve into the topic for today, I want our viewers to get to know you, and also just to get to know who you are. So what is going to happen right now is I am going to read your bio. So when
Hmm.
I'm done reading it, just in case I miss out on anything, I want you to just tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and yeah, and just that. So I'm just gonna read your bio right now. So okay, yeah. So your bio says that when young people experience trauma or severe life stressors, it's not uncommon for their lives to unravel. My great passion is providing effective services to children, young people, and families by ensuring ranges of support are accessible, of high quality and consistent, so they can have healthy perceptions of themselves and contribute positively to their community. I know that no single approach is the right one for every single young person. So I have been trained in positive behavior, intervention of offending and reoffending, escalating negative behavior and self-awareness. I've been working with young people and families for 20 years. And your educational background says that it includes BSc in combined health studies, health policy and management, which you got this from the University of Birmingham City University. So I just read your a little bit about your bio. So, but the thing is, like I said, just in case I miss out on anything, I just wanted to and besides, it's always good when because like just look at the way that I read it right now. People might not be able to really like grasp it, because it's just reading. But it's always good to hear from the horse's mouth. It's always good to hear from the person that we're talking about. So I want you to just tell our viewers who you are and what you do. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bukky. My name is Azonga, and I have been working with young people for young people and families for around 20 years now. As we go further into the show, I'm gonna explain why or how I got into working in this sector. But it's something that's very close to my heart. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it's solely because I want to make a difference in young people's lives as well as their families. And once you do that, you're able to make an impact within the community. So, it's not just about impact on one individual, but it's about ensuring that the community benefits from its surroundings in a positive way. So, yeah, as well as myself going to university in Birmingham, I learned a lot there. At the time when I did go to university, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I kind of like just was in a course where I was enjoying it, but I don't feel like I'd really had a sit down with an advisor like in college to say these are the kind of options you should be going through or going for. So, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful that I was, successful in attaining my degree. It's helped me open so many doors. It's opened up so many opportunities to myself. So I can't mock that. And as well as going back to working with young people, a lot of people might think it's easy, but it's not. You have to have patience. You have to have the whole amount of training. I've worked with young people that have been in and out of prison. I've worked with young people that sell drugs. I've had to sell drugs by, them it not being their choice. And this is something that I never understood until I started to work with them myself. I've worked with young people that have been homeless. So having all these different skills and working with different kind of young people, it highlights the fact that you can't, one approach just doesn't fix one thing. It's
Exactly.
about having relationships with different stakeholders, so different agencies, different services, and then pointing or letting that young person know that you're not alone, but this service, if you've got an issue with drugs, there's this drug rehab place that you can go to within your area. They will help them overcome it, and then when they come back to that community, the crime rate will hopefully be less than it was before. So it's about letting young people know, as well as families know, that there are services out there for them, because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm passionate about getting the word out there and saying, look, you're not alone. You've got, things out there that can help you.
Wow. You're doing a great job, really, with what you're doing.
Thank you.
Great job. Yeah. So you know what? So let's get on the topic for today. At least we got a picture of who you are. So yeah. So you know what? A little buddy. Someone told me that your brother can sing. You understand? And most of my guests, I don't know. Most of them, if they don't know how to sing, their daughter or someone in their family will know how to sing. And the thing about me is, I don't know how to sing, but I love music. I love to listen to good music, especially gospel music. When I'm like on my like in a very low spirit, all I just do is just listen to gospel music and I'll feel good. You understand? So today, what I did is I like to snoop around. I do that a lot. If you can see the background picture, I went on your your Instagram page, and I got some of your pictures. That's what I use as your background. You understand? So because I want to get to know the person that I will be talking to. You understand? So that's why I was like, okay, what does she do? And this and that. This is our family. Even though I know a little bit about your family, but I just want to get to know who you really are. You understand? So, and that's why I found out that your brother can sing. So today, I got one of your brother's song here, which is my favorite. So I want you to feel comfortable, and I want you to sing the lyric, and maybe just move your body. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you right there.
I can't sing. I might just mumble it. I might just whisper it to myself because I can't.
Just try. So I'm just gonna play it right now. So I just want you to just get your groove on just a little bit, and just for you to just be in a good mood. Yeah. You know this song?
This is the one that he did with his with my nephew, his son.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna sing it.
Come on now.
It's more.
I want you to come on the
spot. I'll dance, which is not a problem. I'll dance, but singing's not for me.
Yeah. I love the song. It was the way your nephew was just like dancing.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it as well.
Yeah. He's such a very smart boy. Your mom told me so much about him, and one thing that I remember your mom telling me is sometimes when your mom calls him and maybe he's busy doing something, he'll be like, "Grandma, I'm busy right now. I'm gonna have to call you back." I'm like, at that age, 3 years old?
Yeah, he's very, very intelligent.
Wow.
Very.
Okay, so let me just pause that. But that's a very beautiful song, really. It is. I just love it. I just love it. So our topic for today is about, because every one of us, we're all gonna go through some turbulence in life. We're gonna go through pains and everything. But I want to, the thing is, I want to know how easy it is when we fall down, when we go through pain. How easy is it for us to get up and just say, you know what, even though I fall down, I'm still going to get up and keep moving. You understand? So, so the thing is also, the Bible says that, I know you're spiritual, right? Yeah. And the Bible says that the fathers should not provoke their children to hunger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. This is in Proverbs 23:24, something like that. And the thing is, fathers are more than second. The important, and we're going to be talking about the importance of fathers. You understand, in their children's life. So the thing is, fathers are more than second adults in the home. You understand? Involve father, especially the biological father. They bring positive benefits to their children that no other person, that no other person is likely to bring to them. You understand? So they provide protection, economic support, and they act as male role model to their children.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So they have a parenting style that is like significantly different from that of a mother, you know, because they both have different roles. So and that difference is important in healthy child development. But the thing is, when the father is not present in the home, and all these things that I just said, the benefit and everything cannot take place. So what I want you to tell us today is, I want you to tell us how the importance of father in their children's life. You understand? Relating it to your own experience. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So I want you to tell us, what is the importance of father, and how does it feel like not having a father in the home? That's my first question to you.
Well, growing up, my my mum and dad were married, and then I had 3 kids: myself, my brother, and my sister. And my dad left when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
So I'm now 33, and I haven't seen him since. So at the age of 9, when all that happened, I didn't understand what was happening, because he told us that he was going away to work in Cameroon and write a magazine or something, because he was a journalist
Okay.
slash teacher in the UK. So he was going back there to basically for work, and we would talk to him on the phone, and days basically turn into weeks, and then weeks turn into months, and then months turn into years. So with all of that happening, it was a thing of, when he left, we would speak to him on the phone. So it was all about, okay, yes, dad's in Cameroon and he's coming back soon. So it didn't really matter at that age. But as I started to get older, I started to put 2 and 2 together, and I used to think, I don't think he's coming back, because it's been ages and it's just not normal. Because I grew up like with my dad being in the household, so for him to all of a sudden not be there anymore, it was very strange. It really was. And then you've got other people that have never had a father figure in their life, so they will never probably know what it feels like. And same with a mother figure. So I kind of count myself lucky that at least I had him there for that short period of time, rather than him not being there at all. So I am grateful for that. But yeah, going back to the question, as I started to get older now, especially like with school plays, that's when it really hit me. So, as a young kid, when you were doing your school plays, you were doing rehearsals in schools, and then they'll be like, okay, yeah, make sure you tell your parents to come. And obviously I'll come home, and then I obviously know that dad wasn't around, so he definitely wouldn't make it to my play. And then my mum was working at least like 3 jobs just to make sure things were literally running in the household. So for my parents not to ever like physically be there for my plays and stuff, it did hurt me. Like, I think one time I must have got emotional in school, but being the kind of person I was back then, I would keep things to myself. So I was pretty much good at hiding my emotions and hiding that I was in pain. And the only way that I revealed that I was in pain was through anger. So by literally just having deep thoughts about him going, and all of a sudden going from 0 to 1,000, just being aggressive, starting trouble in school, and all of this was only because of him. But at that time, being young, I didn't understand, and I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was that I didn't know it was my emotions, but I just thought that there was something wrong with me. And I would speak to my mum about it, but it was all the thing of her, she would just say, he's coming back soon. Because we all thought that he was coming back soon. That's what he would tell us when we speak to him on the phone.
Okay.
So when it now got to months and years, we would be like, when are you coming back? And it would still be the same thing, soon. And then there'll be times when my mum would get emotional on the phone speaking to him. And that used to really make me even more angry. And then I just used to think, like, is this man actually ever going to come back? And that's when my hatred for him started. Like, I hated him with a passion. And as I started to get older now, I said to myself, you know what? I don't ever want to get married. I don't want to ever have kids, because I don't want to go through the same thing. That's how I was dealing with it, or that's how I thought I was dealing with it by saying that. But that wasn't the truth deep down. all I needed was a bit of guidance, and just to just to realize that I wasn't the only child in the world going through that. I had siblings as well, you know, they were affected. I would say my brother was affected as well, but he's now a father, so he's dealt with it in his own way. My sister didn't really know him, but she's dealt with it in her own way. And now that I'm at my age now, I've dealt with it in my own way. Because if I hadn't, or if I like hadn't been able to go past this stage, I wouldn't even be talking to you right now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I can be very closed off and very private, but it's got to a stage in my life where if I know that I can help someone just by talking about what I've been through or what's happened to me and how I've overcome it, why not? Why not? Why not? So it really did affect me growing up, and you know, going back to my work environment as well. There's a theory that, which is a proven fact, that when kids are young, their brains haven't fully developed.
Yes.
So not that they're immature, but they haven't reached that maturity level yet within their brain. So whatever is presented to them is what they will copy. So if they see that the mum or dad is doing drugs, 9 times out of 10 they will think it's the norm.
Yeah.
If they're growing up without a father figure in the household, they may feel like they've been abandoned. They may feel like there's no love in the home. If they're moving around from foster home to foster home, they're probably going to feel like, you know what, no one loves me, no one cares about me, I might as well keep doing bad stuff anyway. It's not until you reach that peak, so until you get to the adolescence, it's when you realize that you have a choice and you shouldn't allow your past to affect you, because we all have a choice. Now that you're an adult, there shouldn't be excuses. If you're still dealing with pains from the past, you can go and seek counseling. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you abnormal. There's nothing for you to be embarrassed about, you know, because if you don't deal with it, once you decide to get into a relationship with somebody, it will come to play. It will come to the forefront, you know. And then when you have kids, they will start picking up on things as well. So this is what made me have to forgive my father, and I had to move on from it. I can't keep saying at the age of 33, oh, my dad left, so I'm not going to do anything in my life. And no, I'm an adult now. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time. But it starts from yourself. You have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it, and then you go on to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. I don't want to be going through that cycle. I want when I have kids, I want them to know that I'm fully there, I'm fully present. I want them to be in a loving home. I'm not saying that our home wasn't loving. It was. My mum broke her back for us. She went all in. She was working non-stop. You know, we never lacked anything. Do you know what I mean? So I just want the father of my kids, my husband, you know, for us to be together. And, you know, relationships for me right now are very important. We have to be transparent with one another. Yes. Not just intimate, but like friends and other families and stuff. It's about being honest and moving forward with things. So that's what it is for me.
Wow. So you mentioned the word that you had so much hatred towards.
Yeah.
You just hated him with a passion. That is, I can feel the anger. So I wanted to find out, what does it feel like to be angry, and what effect did the anger have on you? All these anger, the hatred, what effect does it have on you, and how does it feel like?
Well, obviously now I've dealt with it, but back then it wasn't very nice. Like I remember I'd be quite snappy towards my family. I used to be very snappy. I would be very closed off, and I like to isolate myself a lot. And as well, when I went to university, I made friends that I'm still really good friends with. My really good friends, I see them as family now. Whenever I'd get into an argument with them, I would either stop talking to them or remove myself away from them. And they used to tell me things like, Azzy, like, that's not normal the way you're acting. But the reason why I was doing it, looking back, is because I felt like by me removing myself, it was kind of me just kind of removing myself before they removed themselves first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to abandon me. And it may not make sense to other people, but reflecting now, but I wanted to be the first one to move away before you move away from me. And again, this plays because of my father. And this is why when I'd have an argument with someone, I'd be so quick to remove myself from their life, because I thought that if I'd stayed in that kind of relationship, I thought that they would abandon me first. But that was not a healthy way of thinking at all. It wasn't. And this is why even the only people that I ever trusted from when I was young was my mum, my brother, my sister. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Nobody else. And that's probably why I didn't really respect a lot of people, and that's why I probably didn't value the relationship, because I just felt like, again, you're gonna leave me anyway. Like my mum, my brother, my sister, we all went through the same thing in the same household, so I know that no matter what, they're always gonna be by my side. But with other people, I don't really care about you. So if I have an argument with you, I'm gonna remove myself from your life, and I don't care. But deep down, I did care, and deep down, I was hurting. So yeah, the anger at the time, when I would be very angry, all I would see is red. And there was a period of time when I was at college where I would just I'll be fighting a lot as well, which is not very good. It's not nothing I'm proud of either.
Yeah.
And again, it's just not very nice. It's just not nice. But when I would fight, I'm obviously sticking up for myself. But looking back on it now, there was no harm in walking away. But at that time, that is how I was dealing with what was going on, by me releasing my anger, by it being physical. Yeah. That's how I would deal with it.
Anger is a very, very terrible thing, and I'm so glad that you realize it, that yes, I'm angry and everything, and you were able to deal with it. But I want to find out, all this anger, what step did you take to get rid of it? What step did you take to get healed? I know when we go through stuff, it's gonna take a process. You know, healing is not just gonna happen straight up. You understand? It's gonna take a gradual process. Like, it's gonna be like a baby step. So, but at least where you are right now, what step did you take to get healed from the hatred, the anger, and, you know, with you snapping and everything? What step did you take?
Oh, I had to, by when people would call me out on it. My mum would call me out on it. She would just say things like, you have to really you have to manage your anger. It's not nice, because by you reacting that way, you're pushing people away from you.
Correct.
And which is what the reality was, because the thing is with anger is, when you're in that rage, you just want to release it.
Yes.
And it's like, whatever's around you, you don't care. You just want to release it. You just want to get it out of you. But what people don't realize is that you have to manage it. I'm not saying control it, but you have to manage it, because there's going to be consequences for your anger afterwards.
Definitely.
And that is what would scare me. And this is what my mum would always speak to me about and say, you have to be careful. People have killed in anger. Like, why? What's wrong with you? Like, really sit down and say to me, you need to really manage your anger. She'll say the same thing to my brother as well. Like, you both need to really manage your anger. Like, it's not good. It's not good at all. So she was very honest and blunt, and she would give us scenarios. And then as I got older as well, I would hear things and read things in the newspaper and online. People have killed in anger. And then by the time that they've done it, what can you do? It's too late. You've killed because of rage. Are you really going to allow an emotion to control you? Does that really make sense? An emotion that you can't see to take over your whole body, when all you need to do is sit down and really analyze and really reassess yourself and check yourself and say, okay, you're angry because of what? There's ways you can communicate that. If I'm angry at you, I can't come up to you and be, Bukky, blah. You're not going to hear that. It's about sitting down, being mature and saying, this is the issue that I have with you. And what can we do to move forward? And then we move on from it. I don't keep bringing it up.
Wow. You know, your words are really, they're so deep. You understand? Actually, when you say that, I mean, are you really gonna let emotion control you? Something.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's real. You really, because most people, when they get angry, you can't see the thing that is making.
No, you can't. Yeah. You're just thinking.
Yeah. So why will you let it bother you to the extent, or maybe like doing bad things to other people and maybe killing or something like that? So, like I said, I never even thought about that, because you know, sometimes when you're angry, you just everything will just be like push under the table. It will be surprised. You understand? But the thing is realizing that this is something you cannot see. So why are you now gonna let it be like, you know, take control or take charge of your life? You understand?
Yeah.
So that's really deep. That is good. That's deep. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that your mom would sit you down. She would tell you.
Oh yeah, she would. She wouldn't let anything slide.
You know, because you mentioned that she was doing like up to 3 jobs. You understand? But still, she still had time to see what you're going through. You understand?
Yeah, she did.
Seeing everything. So that Man, she's like a superwoman, the way you just
Yeah, she
describing
is.
that, because most people when I mean, you can imagine someone having three jobs, you understand? By the time they finish the three job in a day, all they want to do is to go and sleep. So whatever the children is going through or whatever, they don't care. All they know in their, because the body is tired and they have to go and sleep. But for your mom to
Mhm.
still pay attention and see everything that
Yeah,
is
she
going,
was very,
she
very on point.
she's a superwoman. She is
She
just
didn't let anything slide at all. I mean, even
wow,
there were
wow.
times when we would get letters from school, and I thought I was smart. So what would happen is I'll get letters from school, obviously my behavior. And what I used to do was with the letters, there would be white letters. So what I'll do is I'll hold it up to the light and I'll be able to see my school name, so Putridge High School.
Yeah.
So obviously I'll then open it and it'll be like, oh, as he was misbehaving in school today, and I would hide it.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, and obviously they would ring my mum and they would tell her. So when I would come back from school, she would just be in the either in the living room or in the kitchen. She'd just be like, explain what happened.
Wow.
And I would be like, I don't know what you mean. She'd be like, let's not play games. Tell me what happened.
Keep it real with it. Keep it real, girl.
So it was like, oh, but mum, it wasn't my fault. And she'd be like, I don't want to hear it. We're going to a school now. And I just like, ah. So it was good that I had my mum was on my back. My mum was on all of our backs like that.
Wow.
Any issues that we had with school, she'll be there within a flash.
Wow.
And that's why I said that I'm very grateful. And I think that's probably what pushed me to even take my education a lot more serious. And whereas you've got other kids that don't even have that at all, because I work with them now,
Oh,
where
wow.
their parents have either been in similar situations, but then they've turned to drugs, or they're moving around in different worst case scenarios, or they're putting a new boyfriend before their
Yes.
kids.
Yes.
And when it comes to parents' evening, nobody attends, and in the school, the kid is just left there, and it's very awkward. So you know, I'm very grateful that my mum was very active in our lives like that in terms of school, because it's very important. It plays a role, and it says a lot. It
Mhm.
says a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of what she's going through too, you understand?
Yeah.
Because her husband living the home and everything like that, and with
Hmm.
her hearing what is going on in the husband's life, having another family, some parents, some
Hmm.
moms, they'll be like, you know what? I got my home problems to deal with. I don't have time for you. Whatever you want to do, it's your life. But she didn't.
Hmm.
She didn't take it like that. She didn't abandon you. She knows that
No.
this child of mine needs help, and she was able to forget whatever she was going through. And she was like,
Hmm.
I'm gonna be there for you. You understand? Regardless of what I'm going through. My home problem, I'm not gonna like put it on your own
Hmm.
problem. You understand? Because I know maybe I'm the cause of it or something like that, but still I still need to help you. You understand? I'm gonna leave
Hmm.
whatever it is that I'm going through, I'm still gonna help you. It takes a very strong person, a strong woman to do that kind of a thing, really. I really must commend your mom. You understand? I really,
Which is
she
great.
really, she did well. You understand? She did well. So I bless God for our life. Yeah. My question is, I know that with your dad leaving home at that tender age, you understand, there are gonna be some people who don't know what is going on, who are so judgmental. You understand? All they
Yeah.
want to do is, oh, just to put their mouth in things that is of no concern to them. You understand? So I want to find out. I know, like I said, you're gonna there will definitely be some stigma. So this stigmatization, did you experience it, and how did you feel about it?
Yes, so I experienced it definitely. I recall. So I recall. So basically, within our culture, the Cameroonian culture, we have like family events and things where we will all go to like parties and celebrate everything and anything: weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations. So it was literally like a monthly thing. So something would be happening every month. And from us being young, I remember we would always attend with my mum. And yeah, we would go there, meet other kids, meet our other cousins that we haven't seen for a while, and just play, play, play. Then we'll see aunties and uncles I would see aunties and uncles that I haven't seen in a while. And the first thing that will come out of their mouth was, oh, how's your dad doing? Oh, when is he coming back? Oh, have you spoken to him? And it's like, looking back on it now, you don't say that to a child. You don't say that. But obviously, I don't think it was I don't think it was malicious, but I just feel like a lot of them are very judgmental, because not only were they asking that I would hear conversations, I would hear things like, you know, Sister Vicky, her kids, her poor kids, how's she gonna cope? Like, what's gonna happen to them? You know, the husband's not in the picture. Are they gonna be okay? You know, and you know, when you're looking back on it now, it's a thing of, that was the hearsay, that was the gossip at that time. And us being kids, we saw and heard everything, especially me. I was one of those kids where I was very curious, so nothing could go past me.
Yeah.
So I'll be hearing conversations. So like aunties and uncles would be downstairs with my mom talking about stuff, and I'll be hearing things, and I'll just be like, why can't people just keep their mouths closed? Like, why is it that why does it concern you so much what is happening? Like, it just really is to get frustrated. And then I used to say to my mom, I don't want to go to these parties anymore. I don't like it. Like, I'm not a fan, because I'm going there as a kid to have fun, but then I'm having adults come up to me and asking me questions that doesn't even concern them. And then not even that, then they're asking me things like, how are you going to manage at university? How are you going to cope? And I remember another thing was a conversation that I had with an aunt. She's not really an aunt, but I called an aunt out of respect. Was oh, when you get married, how's that gonna work? And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, because your dad's not around, so who's gonna walk you down the aisle?
Wow.
And it's just like, again, I don't obviously take that to heart. At the time I did. This was like 7 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
At the time I did, but now it's just like, again, it's just for people just to gossip. And the main thing is that I don't need to tell you who's going to walk me down the aisle. I already know who's going to walk me down the aisle.
Business. Really?
It's nobody's business, yeah. But again, that's people for you though. As I've got older, that's people, and that's something I can't escape. It's you could be Mother Teresa, do you know what I mean? You could be the Queen, and people are still always going to have something to say about you. So you might as well do something you enjoy.
Wow. So I know their words and the way they're being so judgmental. I know it must have really taken a very big toll on you, because you did mention that you told your mom that you don't feel like going to all these kind of parties anymore. You understand? So I want you to tell people out there, you understand, who at the onset of anything, you understand, maybe the husband leaving the home, the wife abandoning the children or something like that. But they don't even know, they don't have any clue of what is going on, but all they want to do is to gossip, to talk about things. I want you to think about words that you can put out there for people, so that they will know that it is not good to judge other people. You understand? Even if you know what they're going through, try to find a way. You know, I think I want to speak to you. What is it called? The word that I think I want to hear from you. What I wanted to say is, they should find a way to try to support the person. You understand? Instead of being so judgmental. But what I want you, I think I said some of it anyway, but I want you to just put the word out there. You understand? You know, let them know you can't judge people no matter what. You understand? Just go ahead and just let me know what you have to tell them.
Well, being at the age I am now, I would say that nobody has a right to judge anyone or, you know, gossip and things, but that's how human beings are designed to an extent. So the only advice I can say is just be careful, especially if kids are involved, because kids will pick up on everything and they will see everything and they'll put two and two together and they won't forget. So it's a thing of, if there are people out there that are going through the same situation where their husband has left them or their wife has left them or girlfriend or the kids, whatever, I would say put yourself first, analyze your life, and, you know, give yourself some goals and aims and say, where do I want to be this time next year? And you start working towards that. If that means getting a new qualification in something, saving for a mortgage, or moving home, or doing something for you, losing weight, do it for you. You don't need to put it on Facebook or Instagram, but just focus on you and on becoming a better person, because things are always going to be happening and people are always going to talk. I would also say, watch the kind of people that you're around. What kind of people are they? Are they positive? Are they bringing value to your life? Are they negative? Are they gossiping all the time? Or Are they uplifting you? Are they helping you? What are they doing? What are they bringing to the table? Because it's a two-way thing. And like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this, but if they have kids, you put your kids first. Your kids have to come first, and you have to make sure that everything is okay with them first. You talk to them. You're open with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Be there for them, because they will remember that, you know, when they get to a certain age, they're going to remember mum wasn't there, dad wasn't there, and it could hurt them. It could have a positive effect on their life or a negative effect on their life. So I would say just be very careful of how you judge or talk about people, because no one's life is perfect.
Yes.
No one's life, there's no such thing as oh, I'm living a comfortable lifestyle, because you don't know what can happen tomorrow. Exactly. You don't even know what can happen in 2 weeks from today. So you don't even know that if it could be you in that situation. So I would just say focus on what's going on in your own household, and don't even focus on what's going on with outsiders. Exactly. And that's where people get it wrong. That's where people get it wrong, because they're too busy trying to, oh, so-and-so's got a new car, I need to get a new car, or so-and-so husband is driving, so-and-so's husband got their wife a new car, and then they'll go and ask their husband, where's my car? And it's like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that. Don't focus on the outside, focus on the in.
Yes.
We can all look good on the outside, but then what's really happening on the inside? Are you looking at that? Are you trying to work through that to be better? Or is it all a front? Exactly. So then we have to be true to ourselves. That's it. We have to be true to ourselves and be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Thank you so much for that word. I hope people are listening, and I hope they will, grab the word and make use of it. Yeah. So my next question is, you said when your dad left, sometimes there's always a phone call and everything like that. So those times when you were able to speak to him, were you able to find out the reason why he did what he did? And if so, what was his response?
I can laugh now. The kind of person my dad is, he's very laid back and very chilled. And when I would ask him the questions, why did you go? What happened? I didn't get an answer from him.
Wow.
I still haven't got an answer from him. So it was not. I was only left to my own imagination to kind of put the pieces together, as well as talking to my mum. So no, I'd never got an answer from him. Never.
Wow. And how does that make you feel? Which up till now, you haven't even got the response of why he did what he did. How do you feel about that now?
I mean, now I'm fine with it. I'm fine. I mean, I do hope to go to Cameroon and meet him face to face. I think that definitely does need to happen. I don't carry it in my heart anymore. Like, I'm just at a stage in my life where if you want to be in my life, you're in my life. If you don't want to be in my life, you don't have to be in my life. And I've got so much going on that I'm just trying to focus on being a better human being for me.
Yeah.
And just doing the right thing. So like with him, it's just, it would have been nice as a kid to know, because I think that did contribute to my anger a lot.
Yes.
But the fact that I haven't had the closure yet, again, it's something that I know that I will get. But yeah, from a kid not having closure, it would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
It really would drive me crazy. And then I'll start making up things in my own head, and I'll start thinking, is it my fault? Did I have a part to play in it? Am I the reason why he went? Yeah. Like, why my family? Like, why can't my family be like anyone else's? Why is it that it's just mum doing everything? And why? Yeah, so many unanswered questions
I know.
as a kid.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Okay. You did mention that when all this happened, you kind of like you were saying to yourself that you don't ever want to get married. Is that correct? Right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So I know your view has really changed now, but I want to, hear from you. How do you see men right now? And also, tell me, how do you see men right now?
I don't see them in a negative way. I mean, it's each individual has their own flaws. So I feel like I'm not like, oh, all men are the same, because they're not. All women are not the same either. So it's a thing of, yes, I do want to get married in the future. Yes, I do. I do want to have kids, and I know I will. So it's about ensuring that I'm healed first, or I was healed first before I got into any relationship. Otherwise, like I said before, if I hadn't have done that and worked on myself, it will come to the forefront and it will cause issues.
That's right.
And if I have a son, I don't want them to pick up on anything. And if I would do, I don't want to pick up any of that kind of energy.
Wow, that's good. I'm really glad that you know, you're talking about healing. You're talking about, you
Yeah,
know.
no, it's important. It's really important because it's like this. When we're brought up in a household, we're taught different things.
Yes.
And then, you know, you're growing up and all you're seeing is what your mum or dad will tell you, or what your grandparent will show you, or whoever raised you will show you certain things, and that's all you would know. So it's like when you eventually are old enough now and you move up from that household, and then you're living by yourself, or you move in with a partner, you start to see certain things that they do as well, and you're like, okay, that's a bit interesting. But then that's because of what they've been shown growing up and what they've known, and all they've been faced. So it's like you've got this person, two people coming together from completely two different households, completely two different upbringings, and now they want to make a family together. So it's like you have to be open with one another, and you just have to be transparent, especially if you want to bring kids as well into it.
Yes.
You have to heal, because if you don't, those kids will grow up and repeat the same cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they will 9 times out of 10, they will have kids, and it will, you know, they will have kids, and then their homes will be broken because they haven't healed or faced what they went through. It will just be a vicious cycle, and that's what scared me, and that's why I said no, this can't go on anymore. And this is where I kind of fell into the job that I'm doing now, like working with young people and families. And it was just like, I can't be speaking to these kids or families and saying one thing, but then I'm not checking myself. I'm not trying to heal and become a better person. It doesn't make any sense. I can't operate like that. That means I'm lying to them.
Exactly.
So that's what pushed me to, you know, life is not a game. Life is not a game. So
it's not.
It's something that I had to do for me, and I do feel at peace with myself now compared to like 15 years ago.
Yeah. You see, you realizing the problem is a really good thing, because most people, they would just be displaying all this anger and, you know, different kind of behavior without realizing that there's an underlying problem. Maybe because of what happened in the past, that's why they are, you know, doing or whatever they're doing, you understand? And you were able to, you know, find out what the problem is, we're able to address it, and in the process, you're trying to get yourself healed so that the baggage, you know, that is already there, it's not going to be transferred to maybe going forward or something like that to your family. So, but it's not a lot of people that realize this really, and that's why we still have this vicious circle, you know, keep going on and everything like that. So I'm just so glad that you realize it and you're healing from it and everything. Like I said, healing is a gradual process, because sometimes you just sit down by yourself on your own and the memory will just come to mind. You understand? But and at the same time, since you're healing right now, that will still help you. Anytime the memory comes in, you'll still remember, you know what, you know, I need to put this in the box. I need to forget it and just let the river or something like that, just wash it off. You understand? So it's really a good thing for someone to realize something and, you know, get on it and see ways that they can work to make changes or to help themselves to heal. So that's really a good thing. Yeah. So, but let me see, growing up and up to right now that you have, if I give you a magic wand, you understand, to change some few things, what would you like to see happen? And did you regret anything that happened in your life?
If I was to have a magic wand right now, and if I could change anything in my life, what would I change? I wouldn't change anything.
Wow.
Reason being is because of everything I've been through, bad and good, has made me the person I am today. And who knows, if my dad had still been around, had never left, I don't think I'll probably be working with young people and families. I don't feel like I'll be making an impact. I don't feel like I would have probably gone to university. A lot of things would not have happened. So I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything at all. And I'm grateful for every single thing that I've been through. I truly am, because, you know, just like growing up, seeing my mum, you know, working so hard for us, you know, like, and then with the Cameroon community, a lot of people not being supportive, you know, and then it kind of like being a smack in the face right now. Not that I'm blowing up my mum's trumpet or anything like that, but it was quite sad at that time, you know. And like I said, that's why I kind of wanted to really distance myself and say, you know what, I'm not going to any of these parties anymore, because all they like to do is just gossip and just find out you're not. As soon as they feel like, oh, someone is doing a little bit better than them, they feel some kind of way. Because especially when I first went to university, some people were quite shocked and they think that I'll be capable because my dad was not around. So I wouldn't change anything at all. No.
I'm really glad to hear that. You know, I'm glad to hear that really, because that is because a lot of people they'll still be like, you know, moping about and just be like, oh, I wish that my daddy was in my life. Oh, I wish this happened. You know, but it's like you've gone past that. You understand?
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
I've got bigger fish to fry. Like I haven't. I'm not even trying to say this in a rude way, but it just gets to a stage in life where I'm trying to build a future now for my future kids. Like I want them to be very like set in life. So little things like that, it doesn't bother me. My energy and my drive is elsewhere. I'm trying to, you know, establish myself within my career. Like I'm trying to climb up, and you know, I'm just trying to keep myself fit, wealthy, fit and healthy. You know, I'm just trying to really look after myself. So anything that is negative, I won't entertain it. I haven't got the time. I really don't. And life is too short. Look at what's happening right now, coronavirus. Who would have ever thought in a million years that we would be at a stage where the Prime Minister is telling you that you can't even come out of your house because of, you know, a virus, or you're going food shopping, there's no toilet roll, or you're having to stand 2 meters away from, that's what? That doesn't, you have to work from home, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, who would have ever thought that? So it's like, you have to be very careful because we're all making a path. So don't take things for granted.
Exactly.
Don't take things for granted. And there's always going to be bad and good people in this world, but I want to be one of those people that make a difference in a huge way.
That's right.
In a positive way.
Wow, girl. Like I said, you're just so deep for me, really. I'm learning so much from you. You understand? Especially with this coronavirus thing. The simplest thing, which is like giving someone a hug, is not like it's not like a luxury. You understand? You have to. We don't even know when we'll be able to give, you know, someone else or maybe a friend a hug right now, because they want us to keep 2 meters and maybe they're reducing it to 1 meter right now.
Yeah, they've relaxed it now. They've relaxed it, but again, it's a bit of a strange one because the government are now saying pubs can be open.
Yeah.
But then when people become intoxicated, all of that social distancing goes out the window. So I don't know if you saw like what happened over a couple of weeks ago, where the people in central London where they were really drunk and they were standing literally skin to skin to it. There was like a massive. There was videos and pictures going around. It's like, it's just crazy because people obviously got tired of being cooped up in their household and they just wanted to just have a drink, and obviously a drink led to another and another and another. But these are things that you would have never predicted. Exactly. Never. So again, if you want to do something right, do it right, and put yourself first.
Exactly. You're right. Put yourself first. Okay. My next question is, you know, like you're saying, we all have choices in life, and whatever decision we make it all by ourselves. So I want to find out, with what your dad did, do you ever think that you regretted doing it? You understand? And also, have you ever, you know, in your mind, have you ever felt in a certain way that he regretted his action?
Do I feel like he's ever regretted it? Yeah, he does. Yeah, because me and him, we communicate now. So we communicate on WhatsApp, randomly sometimes, and even on Facebook. And there'll be times when I would upload some things on Facebook and he will repost it. So, and whenever I do talk to him, he'll just be like, send my love to everybody. So I do know that he does regret it. I know. I can't put it into words how I know, but you know, when you just know something, you just know. But I just know. So, but again, it's a choice that he made, and he's got other kids as well. And again, I don't really know much about that lifestyle of his, but I do know obviously he's told me that he's got other kids, and he's in Cameroon, he's working out there. But in terms of like, yeah, it's just, it's the choice that he decided to make. And I think what the reassuring thing for me is that I know that I had nothing to do with it.
Yes,
that's what reassures me. And that's what reassured me from young, because when I was younger, I did think it was my fault because I was the eldest. So I carried that burden for a long time. I think I spoke to my mum about it. I can't really remember. But I had this guilt, and I felt like it was my fault. And I even felt, and even like, I would think things and be like, oh, I wish I could just take his passport and make sure he couldn't go anywhere. But then it was destined to happen. So I can't be like, oh, it shoulda, woulda, coulda. It happened, and it's the choice that he made.
Yeah. Wow. It's not really a good thing. I think it's always good, whatever thought you're thinking, whatever comes to your mind, it's always good to just sit back, reflect on it and check, is this the right decision? Is this the bad decision? Because every decision we make in life is just, sometimes it does have a negative effect, like you said, and sometimes a positive effect. So we need to really like think deeply before we make any kind of decision in life, so yeah. But I'm just glad that you, like you said, you've moved past it and you don't let it bother you anymore, so that's a good thing. And also you mentioned that you work with families and young people. What was the motive behind that? Why did you decide to start working? Because I think everything is like correlated. It's like, they kind of like, gel it in a way. So I want you to say, what was the motive behind that?
Well, how I first started to work with young people was actually by accident. So what was I? I think I was about 16.
Okay.
And I remember it was during, so I think I just finished college. So it was during summer holidays. And I remember I was in the front room with my mum. And I think my brother and my sister were there. I think we were just watching TV and just chilling. And I said to my mum, I really want a job. I want to start working. Okay. And then out of nowhere, because she has all the connections in the world, out of nowhere, she just said, bring my phone. And I was like, okay. So I got her phone, I gave it to her, and then she rang a lady called Rose Davies. And she was talking to her on the phone. She was like, yeah, my daughter's looking for a job. Have you got any work available? And then from then, I just started working with her. Yeah, I know. So it was, she used to run summer like play schemes. So during the summer holidays, what happened was parents didn't have anywhere for them to really drop their kids off whilst they'll go to work. So they would bring their kids to us, and we were quite a small team. But what would happen is the kids will come at like, I think it was like 7:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock, something like that. Okay. And we'll give them breakfast, we'll give them lunch, and we will play games with them. We will just make sure that they were okay. It was just fun. It was just fun for them. And play activities, football, basketball, painting activities. And this went on throughout the whole summer holidays. And then when it came back to September, and then obviously they went back to school. So I did that for about, I think it was about three years until I went to uni. Then I had to stop because I was all the way in Birmingham. Yeah, but I did that. So from then, that's how I started working with families and young people. And then I was then working with Buckinghamshire County Council as a support worker, working with young people that had autism. So it's a learning disability where a lot of them couldn't speak, but they'll act out. Okay. And you had to be trained for that because they had a lot of behavior issues. So because they couldn't talk, they would get very frustrated very easily. So they'll start breaking things or throwing things. And we were trained to know how to deal with it and be able to spot that kind of behavior before it even happened. Okay. So obviously at the time I kind of fell into that work as well. And then I then moved to London with my sister. And then I started working in schools, but schools with challenging behaviors, like working with young people that had challenging behavior. And for some weird, strange reason, I ended up working with young people that had challenging behavior. And then all of a sudden, when I started to apply some of my life experiences, so deep and going down to the root of whatever the issue was and going past it and you know, ensuring that I had positive role models around me. When I started to speak to these young people, they lacked that. A lot of them, they will be very angry or want to have fights. And then when I'd have one-to-ones with them and document what was happening, the first question I'll ask them was, who do you live with at home? Oh, some of them be like, oh, I just live with my nan. Then I'll be like, if you don't mind me asking, where's your dad? I don't know.
Wow.
If you don't mind me asking, where's your mum? In prison.
Wow.
Then I will put the dots together. And then I will connect the dots, and I'll be like, that's why your behavior is like this, because you've got missing puzzles in the jigsaw. This is what it was. And with that, I will then escalate that to the safeguarding support advisor, and we were then able to get them services within the community that would help them overcome this. So that's what was able to carry me through. And at that time, being through what I went through as a kid, I didn't know that it would bring me into this line of work. So when I then started to work in colleges, so I used to work with people say it's a challenging age group from some 16 to 19-year-olds. A lot of them were going through exactly the same thing. Parents not in the picture, selling drugs, being in and out of prison, homeless, English not being their first language, a lot of these issues. And they were like, when I would speak to them one-on-one again, the first question I asked them was, who do you live at home with? Dad's not around, mum's not around. And then immediately I was able to connect the dots. There was one person there who really inspired me, and he still inspires me to this day. And I remember like having a one-to-one with him and just talking to him. And I was like to him, if you could change anything in the world, what would you change? And he was just like, I'll bring my mum back.
Wow.
So he was a refugee from Iraq. And what happened was he'd made his way from Iraq all the way to the UK illegally. So there'll be days and nights where he would have to swim through seas.
Wow.
This is what I mean, like, he would go through days without eating, and he had to come over here, the UK, just for a better life. And then when he started telling me his story, I was just like, wow. And you're still coming into college, and you knowing what's happened. He's like, yeah, but he's like, miss, I just want the best. Like, I need to do what I need to do. And then I'll say to him, where's your dad? He's like, I don't know. I lost contact with him trying to get to the UK. So when I would hear those kind of stories, I would be like, wow, some of these kids, the things that some of them have been through, they inspired me. And that's why I had to say to myself, this isn't just a fun thing. This is more of I have to be a reflection of what I'm doing. I have to be a reflection of what I'm talking about. And this is where I had to really start, having to heal and be like, I can't be, what is my dad leaving when I was the age of 9? When you've got someone that came from Afghanistan or Iraq and having to swim different seas and come through boats and just to get to the UK for a better life. My life doesn't compare to his life at all. And he's still trying to carry on as normal and be sane. No, I've got to do better. Yes. So they inspired me.
Wow. Looking at your life, like, you did mention that you're spiritual, but I'm a spiritual person too. It's just like, God put some things in our life for you understand? And the sooner we realize it, the better our life we get. You understand? I don't know if you read the write-up that I wrote when I wanted to post your picture on Facebook. I did say that we all go through struggles in life. We all go through pain. But instead of us sitting down and start moping about and just be like, God, why me? We need to look at what is in that struggle. We need to look at what is in that pain, because whatever we experience, you understand, in life, you understand, it is not just for us, it's for other people. So I see where your life gradually is like the person they were all scattered before, you understand? I can see that the person they're like right now they're putting itself, or the person is like putting itself in the right place. You understand? So the sooner we realize it, the more the better life becomes meaningful to us. I don't know if you see the picture like that. You understand? Because your line of where you're working at and everything like that is like everything is now becoming, they becoming meaningful right now. You understand? So God is just so good. God is good. You know, like I said, I'm learning a lot from you right now. You understand? I'm learning a lot. I'm learning that, you know, you can't stay in one place and you cannot continue to be hungry, you know,
No.
towards whatever people do. They made the choice to do whatever they do, but you gotta pick up the pieces and just say, you know what, I am not gonna stay there. I'm gonna keep on moving no matter what. And I'm gonna, you know, be out there and be the light for other people. You understand? So that's what I just see that, you know, the parts in your life is heading towards, you know. So, you know, I might be wrong about that, but that's just the way I see it, you know. So um my other question is, let's
So
kind
can
of,
I just add, sorry,
yeah,
Bukky,
go
can
ahead,
I
go
just add one thing to that? Yeah. I
ahead.
wanted to just say that in going back to what we were just talking about,
Yeah,
what I've also realized is that when you're going through something,
yeah,
whatever it is you're going through in life, it's hard,
very
you
hard.
know, and it's all good and well saying, you know, yeah, pick up the pieces, yep, we're gonna get through it. But there's times when people, even I've experienced it, where you just feel like, I don't think things are gonna get better.
I know, I
I
know.
really don't see, like, you'll be going through whatever it is you're going through, and you just be looking at your life and you just be thinking, I don't think things are gonna get better. Like, this is it, I give up. But that's what I mean. When you get to that stage, that's when your blessing is around the corner.
Wow.
That is when you're getting closer. And the only thing I would say to the listeners and viewers out there is that you just have to keep the faith. There are times when it is hard. And again, when I work with my young people, I say to them, I don't want them to ever be in a position where they're in that dark hole. So what the dark hole is, when you are basically depressed and there's no matter what, nothing, whatever you do, nothing will get better.
Yeah.
And this is where people have killed themselves over it, you know, because of mental health, where they've generally thought, you know what, this is it. Like, I don't feel like things are going to get better. And then they take their own life. But then what they didn't realize, that all they need to do was just to hang in there just a tiny bit more, or not allow what that person said to you to get to you. Your blessing is just around the corner. So it's about not just focus on the negatives, but looking at your life and being like, you know what, I've done pretty damn well for myself. Like, it's taken me this long to get to the stage where I'm at, and I've prayed to get to this stage. Now I know that more are coming. I just have to be patient and have faith. That is it.
Yeah.
That is it. And you may not realize it, that you've got other people looking up to you, or
Exactly.
people watching you, that you are inspiring, that you are encouraging. And if you give up now, what hope will those people have? And another scary thing was that with the coronavirus happening, a lot of kids couldn't go to school, or had to stay at home. And home for them isn't a safe place.
No.
And there has been a lot of safeguarding issues that I've had to raise. You know, a lot of them, there was no food. So there's a learner of mine who had to move because he didn't even tell me this. His yacht worker actually, so his youth offending worker actually rang me and told me this over the phone. He was like, oh, so and so had to move because they were struggling with food. And I'm like, I always speak to this learner. This learner's always joking around. He's even asking me how I am. But this is, again, it's a facade for some people. Some people are just they feel so embarrassed to open up to people because they feel like they will be judged, which is true to an extent. So this is why it's important to have services out there, because services won't judge you or look down on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really tap into your word that, you know, when you say that when we're going through pain, it's difficult. You understand? It's difficult, but, you know, the
It's
sooner,
like you're being punished.
yeah, it's like you've been punished. And sometimes when you even pray, you understand, you don't see any answer from
Yeah.
it. You'll be like, you know, you get so agitated and you'll be like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. But I think that's when the blessing is coming. You understand? So I really, I really, you know, I feel that. I really do. I feel that. Yeah.
I
So
wanted to add to that as well, because the kind of person I am, I'm very impatient. I'm working on it now. So the kind of person I am is, I want things now. I
yeah.
want it right now, and I can't wait, because if I wait, I feel like it's not going to happen, and I start having anxiety and start thinking about the worst case scenarios. That's when you need to tell your mind to stop, because it's going into overdrive, and you do need to wait, because it's not the right time yet. It will happen when it's supposed to happen, but in the meantime, you continue doing good for you and for others, and that's it.
Yeah.
And being patient.
Wow. I'm glad for it that you put that word out there, really, because, like you said, it's very hard. We are
It's
not,
hard.
you're not just the one who is impatient. Every one of us is impatient. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, you want it like right now, like the 2 minute microwave. You put your food in the microwave, 2 minutes is on. You just want it like right now, right now. So every one of us, we're always so impatient. So yeah, okay. Let me let that process. Let me let you speak. Let me understand. So my other question is, let's assume that you come face to face with your dad, like right now. You understand? This is you. This is your dad. What will you? Because I know you have a lot of things on your mind. You understand? What will you
Mhm.
like to say to him?
Oh, I'd ask him what happened. I want to hear his side of the story. I'd ask him what happened.
Mm.
I'll ask him what happened, and then that will be my closure, and then we'll move on from it.
Wow, wow. Okay.
I
Okay.
wouldn't be anything like, oh, but you did this to me, you did that. It's gone past. The only thing that's a bit sad is that he's missed out on a lot of things in my life.
Mm.
He's missed out on my graduation. He missed out on my birthdays. He missed just being there and
Yes.
guiding me and talking to me about men, talking to me about like my career, because he was a teacher and that was his he specialized in that kind of area. So him not being around for these certain like key elements in my life obviously played a big picture at that time.
Yeah.
But now I'm older, it doesn't matter anymore. But these are things I will let him know.
Love to
Yeah.
ask him. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's just best to just ask him, even if you don't get the right response. At least, but
Of
just
course.
yeah, just put it up in the state. This is I want to know what happened. It's just for you to
Hmm.
just relieve yourself of questions and open questions every day in your mind. You understand? So
Hmm.
I think it's just the right thing to do. My other question is, we are all experiencing this hard time, you understand, this pandemic and everything. And the what is it called? The lockdown has made couples to be like all up in their face, you understand? Maybe husband and wife who like, because normally before, you go to your job, I mean 9 to 5 job, right? By the time you get back home, you're tired and everything like that. You go to bed, next day you're off to your job. But right now, life is not like that anymore.
Hmm.
Husbands and wives, they're all up in their faces. But what I see that people are not realizing with this pandemic and the lockdown is this is a time for us to bond. You understand? This is a time for family to bond. But a lot of people, they are seeing the flaws in their husband. They're seeing the flaws in their wife. You understand? And because of that, all these flaws that they're seeing, it's causing like, it's causing something like a fight or rifts in the family, to the extent that right now the rate of divorce is so high. You understand? So I want you to think about words that you can pass to maybe the moms who is thinking about leaving the home, or the dad who's thinking about leaving their family, maybe because they now discover now that my wife is of no good, my husband is of no good. What words can you pass on to people like that?
I would say that it's a tricky one, because obviously no one knows what's really happening unless you're in that household. So I would just say, don't do something based on your emotions. Like, if there's somewhere you can go for a couple of days, I know that the lockdown has eased, just
Mm,
go there and clear your head for a couple of days.
exactly.
But then if you're thinking about getting up and leaving your kids, you need to be very careful, because that will come back and bite you, because they will remember every single thing.
Mm,
They remember every single thing. So don't let your emotions control you, something that you can't even see.
yes.
Really sit down and think, talk to your partner, or if it's something you can do, like an exercise in terms of, you sit down by yourself and you highlight what the issues are, or you
Yes.
get your partner to do the same thing, and then you come together and you discuss it together,
Mm,
bearing in mind that the kids will be there as well, listening, hearing what's going on. So already your tone, you know
mm,
the kids will be able to pick up on it.
mm,
So I would say it's about, if they're really at a stage where, if you're a couple and you're really at the stage where you've had enough and you don't really want to be around each other, then you don't have to be that, because the kids will be able to sense it as well.
mm-hmm.
They'll be able to pick up on that. It's a forced relationship. And you also have to think about, when your kids become older,
Yeah.
what kind of relationships do you want them to have?
Mm,
Do you want them to have healthy relationships? Do you want them to have relationships where they're seeing physical abuse? Or
mm,
do you want them to have relationships where you know, there's no consistent partner in the household because that was what they grew up thinking was normal. All of these things need to be taken into consideration. So again, it's think of the kids and then think, by you leaving, who is it going to benefit? Are you just saying you want to leave because it's too much? But then marriage is a thing, or partnership is a thing that you signed up for, because there's always going to be good and bad. So are you saying you only want to be there when things are only good? So you need to really check yourself and think, okay, if things are really good all the time, you only want to be there, then something isn't right. Because everything it comes with good and bad.
Mm. Wow. Thank you so much for that word. Thank you. We're gonna be wrapping up right now. You understand? But what I want you to do is, I want you to, leave an encouraging word to our listeners out there. You understand? It might be about life, it might be anything. Just an encouraging word, just to keep them going. You understand? So just anything that comes to your mind will be okay.
Never give up.
Wow.
Never.
Yeah, especially on your family. Never give up. You gotta try. Yeah.
Everything, yeah. And be true to you.
Mm.
So if you're working in a job, for example, where the values don't lie with what you stand for, get out of there. Find something else.
Yes.
Don't feel like you have to be trapped in it. Don't feel like you have to be trapped in a relationship because you want to let everyone know that you're in a relationship and post it all over Instagram and social media or whatever.
Mm.
Start doing things for you. Don't do it for other people. And that's where people get things wrong.
Yeah.
Does it really make you happy? Are you doing it because you are happy, or are you doing it because you want to fit in? Forget all of that and just put you first for once. And that's when magic things will start happening.
Yes. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I've really, like I said, I've learned a lot, about, what you've been telling us so far. I've learned so much from you, you understand? So I want to thank you so much, for coming on this show today, and your words, they're really strong, and really I've been so touched, and I'll be moved. And right now I'm having different, my perspective about life has really changed with what you told me, and I've learned so much from you. So this is what I want to leave to, I want to leave this with our viewers, and I just want to say this out there to people. The thing is, things can happen in life, you understand? And when something happens, and it can result, anger definitely will set in when something bad comes, when it happens, anger will definitely set in. But we have to always have it at the back of our mind that there is meaning in most of the things that happen in life. And I'm going to be using your word, it's meant to be, you understand? So anything that happened, we shouldn't be like, start judging people and start blaming God. God, why is this happening to me, and everything like that. We need to ask God, what do you want me to learn from this thing that is happening to me? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to touch people with it? Because like I said, everything that we go through is not just for us. Even though it's developing us, it's also going to be useful for other people. And that's why I think you are in the line you're working right now. You understand? Because like, I don't know, in the Bible, I think some passages in the Bible says that even before our parents conceive us, you understand, before they gave back to us, or before they even think about knowing our dad or something like that, or knowing each other, God had already planned, you understand, how our future is going to be like. You understand? So with you as well, with the line you're working on right now, you understand, I think, God has a purpose in it. You understand? There's a purpose in it. And look at the children that you're helping. You understand? You might not know the impact of what you're doing in their life. So maybe later on, when they see you, maybe 5 years ago, they'll be like, oh, Hazi, she was the one that, helped me when I was having a difficult time, when my daddy left or when my mom left. You understand? So you might not know. So I think where you are right now is more like a calling. That's just the way I see it. This is more like your calling. And I just want to thank you so much that what you went through in life, you did not start blaming God, and you didn't start, even though the hunger sets in, you understand, but still you were still able to address the hunger and try to find a way to take the hunger out of your system. You understand? And with you now, you're forgiving your dad, you've moved on in life, you're seeing life in a different perspective, which is a very good thing. So I want to leave this with you. I want to let you know that all of us in this world, we are the lights of the world. You understand? We are here to light other people's life. You understand? To be a light in other people's lives. So I want your light to continue to shine, which that is what you're doing right now. So because the thing is, you don't illuminate a light, you don't turn on a light, you understand, and put it under the table or put it under the basket. You understand? You gotta let it shine. So the purpose of a light is to shine and to provide vision in the midst of darkness. That's the purpose of lights. You understand? So we are all the lights of the world. Hiding our light, when we hide our light, it does not serve others. But when we don't hide it, when we put it out there, that's when it's gonna serve other people. So, and this is and also in Matthew 5, it says, let your light so shine that other people they will see the good deed that you do, and they will glorify God. So everything we do, all the light that we light out there is not just for us. It's to help other people so that other people can glorify God, the one that created us. So, like I said, girl, I've been so touched. I've learned a lot from you, and I just want you to just continue to be strong and keep doing what you're doing. Just continue to let your light shine all over the world and keep making the great impact that you're impacting the life of the children that you're taking care of, that you're looking after. I just want you to just keep on doing that. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, and don't forget the video. You understand? Just whatever how you feel, whatever you think about this show, just 2-minute video will be okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a blessed weekend and enjoy your weekend. Okay. All righty. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.